What it do? It's D.O.A. niggas back with another episode of Putting Shit Together. Today, man, we talking about Ryan Williams and his now fiance, Alexis Hill. Now, a lot of y'all might know Ryan Williams already. He was the 17-year-old phenom that came to University of Alabama. I guess that was 2 years ago now, and he forewent his senior year of high school to come play college ball. Which I mean, he was balling out the first year a little bit. He made some crazy plays against University of Georgia, and that colossal game that we had that year. So, I'm an Alabama fan. I was in big support of him. I was kind of weary at that point too because he was 17 years old. I'm like, ooh, that's a young man to be coming to play this grown man's game. But I was impressed by a lot of the things that I saw from him as far as play went, and he seemed pretty mature. But then that kind of took a turn for the worse real quick because since then we seen that the young man paints his fingernails like Caleb Williams. So he on that Caleb Williams type of time. I think if I'm not mistaken, he got an endorsement deal through Sally Henson or whatever that is, the little fingernail polish company. And you know, that's when I started getting shaky on him for real. Like, okay, you paint your nails, that's a little bit suspect to say the least. But then you taking endorsement deals from these motherfuckers. I mean, a lot of ignorant people gonna say, man, get the bag and all that doofy ass shit. But um it just seemed like a distraction, and it also seemed like it could be what you call it, a signaling of maybe some issues that he might have going on as far as sexual or otherwise, right? Well, since then, that good first year that he had, freshman year, man, he then led the SEC and drop passes. I mean, he's showing up super small, like midget size in games, like having games where he only went for 5 yards and shit like that. And it's like, man, I commend him for coming back and sticking with the University of Alabama through all of that because he has received a lot of flack. I'm sure he's got a lot of supporters. Like I said, I was one of them, you know what I'm saying, hoping that he could turn it around, get things going in the right direction, and show us more of what he had shown us in his freshman year. But man, just some bad news as you can see on the screen. Ryan Williams then now on, I guess on Valentine's Day, proposed to his girlfriend. And he's 19 years old right now, okay? So that's one issue in itself. Ryan Williams is still pretty much a baby. You 19 years old and you proposing, trying to get married at 19 years old. You still in college. You still got obviously big responsibilities to your team, your teammates, the university, the state, the fans, all of that. And meanwhile, while I'm sitting at home hoping that this nigga's on the jug machine trying to catch as many passes as he can, you know what I'm saying? And get his hands right, get his confidence right, because he also was walking into the game with a stuffed animal and shit, like a little stuffed animal, and it was supposed to be an emotional support doll or some shit. So that lends itself to what I was saying about that that signaling of him having some issues going on with his finger painting and all of that shit. So it's like, bro, if you need an emotional support doll, that that kind of confirms what I was thinking, is that he got some issues going on, right? So he's 19 years old, decides to further complicate his life by proposing to his girlfriend. If that wasn't enough, his girlfriend is 6 years older than him, a 25-year-old mom of one. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is like, does this nigga not have no real guidance around him? Like, who's in his corner that's leading him to believe that this is a good idea to do these things? You know what I'm saying? Instead of you trying to catch more and more passes, get your hands right so you can secure your future and help your university, your team, noticing that you've been coming up small thus far. It's like, bruh, you out here, instead of getting your hands right, you trying to get this 25-year-old chick finger right. You want to lace her with a diamond and shit, and y'all gonna play house and shit, when you really should be getting your fucking mind right and your game together, bro. It pains me even to make this video, and I've been trying not to make it, but I'm like, man, I can't call myself a real nigga with a real podcast speaking on real shit, and I'm a Bama fan and I don't touch on this. So it's like, it's bad enough that you're 19 and you decide to get engaged when you have some pretty big responsibilities on your plate, but the chick is 25 years old. She's 6 years older than you. So naturally, the next question is, when the fuck did Alexis Hill meet Ryan Williams? When did this happen? Because he's already young. And I'm sure they're going to make it seem like they didn't meet when he was 17 years old. And I hope that that's the case. But even if that is the case, then the next issue presents itself, which is, if y'all have only been dating for a year or a year and some change at best, it's too fucking soon to be getting married, bro, to be proposing. You only known the chick for a minimal amount of time. But in opposition to that, let's say that they've known each other for longer than that period of time, then that means that a potential 23-year-old has been grooming a 17-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, it's a lot to this, man, because I figured out that his parents are actually were actually 18 and 19 when they had him, which, I mean, I guess that could possibly be expected because of him trying to do some super adult shit at his young age. So maybe he's kind of following in his parents' footsteps and trying to be, super grown at a super young age. But this just lends itself to some shaky guidance. You can see his dad right here. That's Ryan Williams Sr. right here. And then his mom was up there. That's a picture of his mom right there. And yeah, it's like, so we seen him with his fingernails painted in the little doll and shit, and you got endorsements from the damn fingernail polish company and all of this shit. And it was giving that bro might be on the fruity side of the game, to be honest. And I'm sure that a lot of people have been on his head about him possibly being fruity. You feel me? And this is what, I'm going to just give you my real nigga take on what I think happened. I feel like because he's been receiving a lot of flack about him possibly being fruity, he got engaged to shield himself from those comments. So, this is in the mind of a young man would think like, man, These niggas trying to call me out for being gay, so I'm gonna show them that I'm not, or I'm gonna pretend that I'm not by having a wife. You see what I'm saying? So y'all know, y'all done seen this before. If you don't think you have, then you just aren't really privy to it happening right before your eyes. You see what I'm saying? So this is the thing too. Like, what also makes me lean towards this, the direction that this is what's happened, is because when I look at this chick, she looks like a little boy. I ain't gonna lie. The chick looked like a little boy. And a lot of times when you see dudes do this shit, look, she got a body like a little boy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you see dudes who might be fruity want to get a shield type of chick to protect them from the fruitiness leaking out, they end up getting a little chick that's built like a damn man. Cause really deep down inside, they fuck with little boys. They like men's. You see what I'm saying? So here go the chick, no body to her. I mean, she a cute little girl. They so young that I'm really trying not to go in on them. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I said, I try to support bro. And I know he's a little boy and she's a little boy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying not to go as hard as I really would. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just using this as a point. Like, you get these fruity niggas who get these little bitty body chicks because they really be liking boys. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like you got the other aspect of her having a son. So now this nigga's gonna be basically playing stepdaddy to a 5-year-old. She's got a 5-year-old already. So you gonna be playing stepdaddy to a 5-year-old, bro. Like, as if you concentrating on the fucking laces of the football wasn't enough. Now you got to be tying shoelaces for your fucking stepson and shit now. And you in school, etc. And I'm sure they don't do a lot of work. They probably got motherfuckers that do that work for them and all of that. But it's just the principle. Like, whatever you was doing on campus the last 2 years has obviously distracted you from catching the fucking ball. You see what I'm saying? So now you gonna ice that cake by having a chick who's in your ear trying to plan a wedding and your fucking new stepson. Like, bro, I just can't foresee this equating to a very prolific season coming up for the Crimson Tide. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, um, like, man, I done been through it, bro. Like, I actually got in a relationship with a chick that had a fucking daughter already when I was younger. I was like 21, 22 years old, and that was still too young. You know what I'm saying? We moved in together. We was doing the whole thing, whatever. Like, I'm being a dad to the daughter and all of this, and it just that was I mean, it was a good experience just because I'm a nigga that say nothing was done in vain, but just keeping it real, that was a mistake, bro. I was too fucking young to be taking on those kind of responsibilities at that time. I did a decent job, like, legitly. I did a better job at parenting than a lot of niggas would, but when it's not your child, then you run into other issues that arise, especially when that child reaches up in like 12 years old type of range. They start looking for their real dad. You know what I'm saying? And it really don't matter what kind of parent it don't matter what kind of dad that other dude is. Everybody want to know who their real dad is. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother obstacle to surmount. So I just think this is not a good idea. But then when you look at it, I'm like, I'm sure his parents is probably decent. I mean, them having him at 18 and 19 is not really a super shocker. Lots of people are born to teenage parents. You know what I'm saying? So that's not really the issue. But when I look through and I see your mama doing this, like his mama's in a picture flipping a bird, middle finger up like a fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this lets me know that bro ain't got the best advice around him. Bro ain't got the best advice around him. And a lot of people will probably say, man, damn, I mean, look how successful bro is. Two-time Mr. Football in Alabama, and he done left high school and he's playing college ball for one of the best teams and all of this. Like, yeah, I mean, but that don't mean that your parents got a good head on their shoulders. Just because a kid does that does not necessarily mean that they've got good sound guidance around them. That just means that they could be very gifted. You know what I'm saying? They could have been in all the right situations as far as camps go, coaches go, and all of that goes. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure his dad probably worked with him with football, but that don't mean that his dad gave him the proper guidance when it comes to situations like this. Then when I see your mama here with your now fiance and she's flipping a bird at the camera, like this is some little kid bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that lets me know a lot about how bro could get himself in a situation like this. When you got adults around you that act like kids, they probably never told you to hold off on that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, just, I'm not going to rag on Alexis Hill, but I will say this. If you with a man and you've been watching his performance at his craft these last few years, like the rest of us have, I don't see why you wouldn't steer him in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to the gym with him, go to the field with him, tell him to muscle up and put some more hours in under his belt as far as training go. So, you know, reassure him that you gonna be there for him for longevity. You gonna be there with them forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's no rush for us to do this type of shit. Just focus on your craft. I'll run the jug machine for you so you can catch some balls, get your performance up for our future. You know what I'm saying? But instead, the chick is obviously with this fucking move, with this next move, this bonehead plan. So, you know, and I know she's a young kid too. He's a young kid too. So it kind of falls back to the type of guidance that you got around you. I mean, they are old enough to make their own decisions, even if people were guiding them in the right direction. So it do fall back on them in the end. But it's just like, man, it's a whole mess, and it's an unfortunate thing to witness that this young man is making this type of move and commitment at this point in his career. You know what I'm saying? I just hate to see it. But man, y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think, man, y'all think it's nothing really to write home about? Like, man, he gonna be all right. He gonna get through it. He's still gonna be able to focus at the level that he needs to up his performance? Or do you feel like, man, he probably jumped the gun on this shit? Or do you feel like he's doing this to shield himself from some of the comments that he might have been getting as far as him being on the fruity side of the game? Like, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. But as always, it's a pleasure having y'all tune in. It's peace and love, love and light, wisdom and insight. DOA. We're putting shit together. To the next episode, y'all. Peace.